Lego Batman movie. She sounds like a normal chick. I'm like, she's supposed to sound like this? You're not gonna get away with it, B-Man! Like, that's how she's supposed to sound. Like, Mr. J. Oh, Mr. J. Puddin'.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, you're gonna give it to him now, Mr. J. B-Man doesn't have anything on you,
Oh, fuck,
Puddin'.
they are already here.
Oh, fuck. You wanna go, Cumstain? Oh, I killed him.
Jesus fuck, man. I'm gonna try and go put a mine on him.
I didn't know he was there. I was just gonna suppress over where I thought they were, and I shot him directly in the face. Oh, okay.
His fucking body.
I obliterated it. It's gone.
The worst part about saying game mechanics is it sounds like you're saying game mechanics. And just so you know, I'm not talking about game mechanics. We're talking, of course, about game mechanics. So I'm going to try to avoid the term game mechanics, Jesus, and instead I'm going to be using other words to describe this. A lot of people think game mechanics make a game good. No, game mechanics are required for a game to be playable and worth your time. Think about it, if you're a developer, you want to create a game that has mechanics that are specific to your game that make your game fun to play. There's hundreds of thousands of video games out there, but yours needs to grab people's attention, and the only way you can grab my attention, for me personally, is by giving me something that another game isn't giving me. That's why I think if Call of Duty just became like Battlefield or vice versa, I just wouldn't play either of them. I'd be like, well, I like both of you, and now one of you is the same as the other, and it's just silly. But while I was playing Ghost Recon Wildlands PvP mode, Ghost War, I had a run-in with a lot of frustration. I think that game mode needs a lot of work, and mostly due to the fact that the gunplay at close range is very clunky because of the third-person camera angle, weird weapon bullet spread. It's just needing of a little bit of work. In fact, I think Ghost War would be an amazing first-person shooter. It works less good in third-person. Fight me on it. I don't like third-person competitive games, mostly because people can watch me around cover without exposing themselves, and to me that's irritating. But I can ignore that, that's fine. I enjoy the game mode, whatever, I like it. So the thing about Ghost War is that it has a lot of abilities and gadgets and things you can activate that really do help you, or your teammates. Most gadgets, and these are the ones I like, are the ones that, you know, emit smoke, or distracting sounds, or drop mortars. Those things make sense to me, I like those. When it gets into things that boost your health, I get a little upset. You know, not angry, just a little upset. It bothers me, but I don't cry about it, I just briefly complain. The game has this feature where if you're the last alive, you get an adrenaline boost and it makes you harder to kill. Why is that in the game? Why? Why would that be in the game? What does that add to the game? Yes, if you're last alive, you have a serious disadvantage, but come on. If somebody bamboozles you, I don't care if it's 4v1 or 2v1 or 3v1, if somebody bamboozles you and you get to come out alive because you had extra health because you were in adrenaline mode, not only is that cheesy, it's a little bit cheap. There's something about it that just bothers me. Flat health around the board should be an important attribute of most games. And I feel like when developers try to get too creative with interesting game mechanics, they sometimes just, I don't know, it's like they cross a line somewhere into unnecessary territory. There's also a class known as Predator in Ghost War that gives you that same adrenaline rush, so you don't even need to be last alive, you can just get into an engagement, somebody taps a button, and whammo, they're gonna win that gunfight, most likely. Or at the very least, their chances went way up. Of course, I'm talking about moment-to-moment, one-on-one engagements, and that isn't really descriptive of the entire game and every scenario you're gonna run into. I still believe, though, it's unnecessary to add those types of things into competitive games. I feel the same way about what I consider to be the worst thing in Infinite Warfare, and that was reactive armor. Reactive armor in Infinite Warfare was everything wrong with ability play in general. Once your ability charged up, and it didn't take that long, you tap two buttons and suddenly you're basically invincible in a one-on-one engagement, especially because of the kill time in Call of Duty. So it was more than irritating to round the corner, see somebody, have them dead to rights, they pop that ability, and then you are not going to win that engagement on a 1v1 unless that person has no thumbs. Also, Black Ops 3 had kinetic armor, which fundamentally was the same thing. And although I believe shooting people in the head did get rid of the effect of the armor, but honestly, in a Call of Duty close quarters engagement, you're not going to think, oh, silly me, my bullets aren't harming your body, let me adjust my sight to your head region. No, you're dead. It's Call of Duty. You die extremely quickly, and everybody I heard that played Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare complained about those things. Even players much, much better than me. Also, Infinite Warfare had these, but I'm going to pick on Black Ops 3 more when it came to things like the Ripper, or gravity spikes, or the Purifier. When it comes to removing your opponent's life, while also removing their ability to properly fight back, you have what I call the worst thing ever. Don't do it. So, game mechanics do not make games better. Game mechanics are required to make games. Good game mechanics are required to make your game better. The thing is Black Ops 3 is more than playable. I love Infinite Warfare, and I really like Ghost Recon's Ghost War. But do I think those games would be better if they removed abilities that directly boost you? I don't care if abilities give you intel, because it still matters how you deal with the intel. I think when you start jacking up your health, when you start jacking up your damage, if you have an ability that just kills everyone in the room just by pressing 2 buttons, you have a problem. The game has a fundamental issue in its design. Is it game ruining? Not really. Is it fundamental? Yes, but it doesn't ruin those games for me. I just would much prefer if they're gone. I'm extremely biased. I don't like Overwatch because of its centering around ability play and character play. I don't like that some heroes are just incompatible with other heroes when it comes to dueling one-on-one. An equal playing field where players can customize their loadouts, perks, attachments, whatever it might be, in order to cater to how they want to play and how they want to experience the game. I love that, I'm all for that. But one of my least favorite things about old Call of Duty was the Juggernaut and Stopping Power perk. Because you didn't know if someone was going to have extra health when you start shooting at them, or have extra damage when they start shooting at you. And in Modern Warfare 2, you couldn't even counter Stopping Power with Juggernaut because Juggernaut wasn't in the game, so some people just killed you much, much faster. I mean, Modern Warfare 2 is perfect. Absolute god COD. No balance issues in Modern Warfare 2. What I'm trying to say is, pouring in as many game mechanics as you can into your video game, or porting in a bunch of abilities and gimmicks and gadgets, it doesn't make the game better. It doesn't make things more smooth, and in fact, a lot of times you're just going to get accused of making a game that caters towards noobs. And while I don't think that's entirely true, it has its merits and people have a point when they bring it up. When you have characters, abilities, and gadgets that inflate your ability to do well, and also removing your enemy's skill out of the equation because of what you're doing, and then making them rely on luck or just getting away as fast as possible, in my opinion, you have a broken system. There will always be inequalities in first-person shooters. For instance, some people don't put a foregrip on a gun that needs a foregrip, and then when I go to fight them, their gun kicks over my head, and I get the kill. Some people don't put on certain attachments or perks in Call of Duty that cost them a lot of gunfights. Some people don't use the right attachment combinations in Battlefield 4, and end up making their gun way underperform, way more than it should. That's always going to happen. You do not need to enhance that. Enhance that frustration that, oh, I couldn't have won that engagement, or I was at the disadvantage in that engagement. You do not need to multiply and enhance that, okay? That's already the nature of competitive games, is that some people are going to have the upper hand. That's fine. You don't need to enhance, inflate, and just add to that frustration. It doesn't need to be there. I know some of those abilities and gadgets in games like Overwatch or Infinite Warfare or Black Ops 3 or even in Destiny, I didn't even mention Destiny. I know sometimes they promote counterplay, but oftentimes they're just engagement winners and things that give you unfair advantages because you saved up that ability just for engagement you couldn't win, and you're like, oh, I have a shield now, or everyone in the room's dead, or I'm fuck it. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think down below. This is just my 2 cents, my humble opinion, and yeah, if you guys like this video, do whatever you want about it.
Note.
Hey, Metal Gear Solid. Oh, god damn
Teammate,
it.
just
Keep going.
look down. Don't revive me. No. I got him.
Nice shot.
The drone is airborne.
They're in the top of the fucking tower there. God, I wish we could have parachutes in this. Oh, you might be... Oh, they're in for a mortar. Hey, coming down there. To the right, to the right, to the right. Get down.
He thinks that's... Do you think... He just shot the hostage! He thought the hostage was one of us! What the fuck?! How dumb! How dumb!